So government's a huge sector with us, and we collaborate with government a huge amount on a number of these projects. So I think it's nice just for AIR as a business to kind of be able to take an opportunity to step back, just kind of reflect on some of those projects, the scale of them, what they've delivered, to celebrate some of the people involved, because I think an important part of working with government is you build up relationships over a time. And it's nice just to kind of meet people and celebrate some of those things. And it's nice to have a few drinks and a little bit of fun in the night as well. So from our perspective, it's one of the kind of prime things that we do each year, and we're thrilled to be involved with it again this year. About 15 years ago, I was working in another organisation on a very large kind of scale change transformation project, and we had a consultancy team in from McKinsey, and there was an Italian guy, Carlo, who quite charming Italian, who was over, and we were out for dinner one night during the project, and I was just asking him if he'd been in Ireland before, and he told me he had, and we started discussing projects, different things he worked on over his career, and I asked him what was the most impressive project that he'd been involved with, and he actually said it was Irish Revenue Service, which, I have to be honest, at the time surprised me a little bit, right? But why he found it and kind of rated it as the kind of most impressive project was the kind of ambition of what they tried to do in terms of joining up all this data and information and really giving them a platform to go, and it just transformed the kind of results that they were seeing. So it's quite kind of scary, I guess, if you're the receiving end of that. But it really sounded like a transformational project, and it's at the time, funnily enough, I probably wouldn't have associated something with that level of ambition in a kind of government environment, because I was in the private sector. But the more he explained it to me, the more you could really understand. And then when you saw it in practice, it's hugely impressive. So that's the level and the scale of these things, So, I mean, we're not talking about kind of small change projects. Some of these things in terms of their ambition and the scale of what they're trying to do they're really quite impressive. I think you see this year in year, the kind of range of the projects and the kind of inclusiveness across the whole government footprint, I think, is changing. The other thing I think that really is driving this is, every kind of industry and sector faces these mega trends, right? There are things that just come at you, which are kind of larger than business issues, right? They're societal things, and they have to be. So if you start to think about the environment and everything that's going to come down with that, it's just going to be so cross-cutting in terms of citizens and government. And, how are we going to make sense of that and start to put things in place that really start to drive some very tough metrics and some real changes in behaviour, but do it in a way that the kind of customer or the citizen is comfortable interacting with it and sees value in it and engages with it, right? So things like that, I think, if you start to think about smart cities, housing, all of these infrastructural things, which are massive, and these aren't just Irish things, these things transcend every kind of country and area of the world, so it's starting to come to terms with these things. But I know from engaging with government people and government environment, they're really thinking this stuff through, and they're actually quite advanced. So these guys are looking at roadmaps which are spanning 5-10 years and beyond, so it's very progressive in terms of what's going on there. And that's why the awards are good, right? It's nice to step back, it's nice to look at some of these things, and it's nice to recognize some of the work that's going on.